everyone, thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more amazing videos. Today we want to talk to you about VLOOKUPs. These are very important keys in Excel. VLOOKUP helps you identify values from a whole lot of data in a very short time. For instance, if you have names of children, for instance, their ages, their sex, their status, whether IDP or host, and management calls you and say, hey, we want you to find out a particular name of a child very quick from maybe 1 million children, that child's age, the child's maybe date of birth, whatever that is involved in that data. VLOOKUP helps you to pick out that data, okay, in just a few seconds. Let me walk you through and tell you what I mean. If we come to this data, here we have names, age, sex, class, status of these children. Let's assume that we had 1,000 names or 1 million names here, and the management calls you and say, hey, we want to know, find the age of Hillary, find the sex of Hillary, find the class of Hillary, and find the status. And real quick, you just come and click Hillary, you see, boom, and it tells you, wow, 6 years old. It means Hillary is 6 years. And when we come down here to our data, let me just show you the data. You see down here, Hillary with double L, it shows that it's 6 years. You see, if we come back here again and we say, okay, we want to still find out Hillary, and we click OK, you see it tells us that Hillary is a boy. You find out here is a boy. Okay, if we come out here again, we say we want to find his class. We want to know which class Hillary is. You see, it tells us class 1. Wow, Hillary is in class 1. You see, that's it. It comes up here again, it tells us we want to find his status. We want to know if he is IDP or host. We click, and then it tells us, wow, Hillary is IDP. Okay, this is just a sample data. You can still do this for your organization. Let me walk you through and show you how we created those formulas. And I want you to know that it can happen for every child. It can happen from every child. We were just using Hillary as a sample. Let's go in and show you how we did this. Thank you. So to create a VLOOKUP is easy. All you need is to come here, create an organized plan like this. We want to be finding age of the child here in this area. We want to be finding this age. We want to be finding this sex, you see. We want to be finding this class, you see. We want to be finding status. So 1, 2, 3, 4 represent 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Okay, this is our columns. Those who have watched the Excel for beginners, you know what is column. Okay, right here again, we want to make sure that each time we click the name of a child or a name of a child, okay, their age should be appearing here, their sex should be appearing here, their class should be appearing here. Okay, in just a few seconds. So we want to create those formulas now. So to do that is simple. I want us to first of all look at this table. We have name of child, age, sex, class, and status. So we are going to be using this table to do this magic here. So let's assume that this table we have more than 10,000 names here. Let's just assume, it's an assumption, okay? So right here, to begin with the first one, what I'll do is I'll click here, I'll reference this cell. Referencing a cell simply means just clicking in the cell, that's all. And then I press equals to. And when I press equals to, there's a formula in Excel called VLOOKUP. There's a function called VLOOKUP. And then when I start pressing VLOOKUP, you see, it shows me the function, and I click my tab, okay? Now it asks me to identify the lookup value. What is a lookup value? The lookup value is simply what you want to be looking out for. You want to be looking out for the names, okay? So I'm going to reference this cell. It means that this is where we are going to be putting those values to get the age, okay? This is where we are going to be putting those values to get the sex, etc. And the value is going to be there, the names of the child. When we put this again, we now click comma. It now asks us that, okay, we have put the lookup value. What is the table array? Table array simply means all this table, all of this table like this, all of this table, all of this table. Okay, we are now referencing the whole of the table. Okay, okay, this is the end of the table. And then after doing this, we now put another comma. Okay, and then it asks us, and then it asks us again. It asks us again. What is the column index? Okay, now we come here And then I want to explain something to you about the column index. The column index is simply the number of columns. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You always start counting the column index from the first column where the names are, and also the beginning of your table. So when you come here, this column index for age, let's see where it falls. If we start counting from here, 1, 2, it falls under 2. So the column index here will be 2. It means each time we want to identify something here, it will be identifying something from this column 2, this index 2. When we go there, we check our query here, it's okay, we click comma, okay, and then it tells us, do we want absolute match or an exact match? We want an exact match. We want to get everything exact, okay, and then we click false here, and then we click enter. You see, we have already created that formula. We come again to the next formula, we click under sex, we click equals to, and then we click our VLOOKUP, okay, VLOOKUP, and then we click again, we click tab, okay, and then it asks you about the lookup value. Again, we want to be putting it here, we want to be putting the names here, and we want the sex to be appearing each time we put a name here, and then we click comma, and then it asks us the table array. We come again, and then we select the whole table. We select the whole table. Please follow carefully. We select the whole table, and when we select the table, remember our formulas are also appearing up here because this is a formula bar, and then we click comma, and then we try to adjust this back up here. Good. And then while we do this, the next thing that we have to also take note of is the fact that it is now asking for column index number. So sex falls under how many column index number? Let's count. We start counting from this first column. Again, we go 1, 2, 3. It falls under 3. So we come now and write 3. You see, it appears here, and it's also on our formula bar. When we write 3, we click comma, and it asks us if it's an absolute match or approximate match. We want an absolute match. So since we want an absolute match, here we are going to choose false, an exact match, and then we click. When we click, we press enter. You see, we are creating those formulas. We come again to the next. We still reference this cell since we want class to be appearing here. We still reference this cell, and then we press equals to. When we press equals to, the next thing we do is we start writing our function VLOOKUP. It appears again, we press tab, and then it still asks us for our lookup value. Our lookup value, again, as we said, we want the names of the child. Each name we click here, we want to see the class here, okay, and then we press comma. The next thing we ask again is table array. We go again and we select the whole table. You see, I'm doing one and the same thing severally for you to really catch the idea. That is why I'm taking my time to do it regularly. And then we press comma. When we press comma, it now asks for the column index number. Okay, the column index number, again, as we saw in the first two, is the number of columns. So we start counting again. So where does class falls? It falls here. So when we start counting, starting from the name of child, we say 1, 2, 3, 4. It falls under columns index number 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We now come here and write 4, and we click comma. It now asks us, is it an approximate match or an absolute match? It is an absolute match. We now click false, and then we click enter. You see, we come again to the last. We still reference the same cell, and we click equals to, and then we start writing our VLOOKUP formula. It appears here, and then we click tab. There's a button on your machine called tab. It makes it easy for you to use. Now it comes and it asks again our lookup value. Our lookup value, as you already know, is here. We want to be referencing the lookup value, so we reference this cell because we want to be putting each name there, and each name we put, it should give us the status, whether it's an IDP or host. And then we click comma. And then you ask us again the table array. The table array simply means all the table, the area of the table we are working with, okay? And then we select the whole table. We select the whole table, and then we press comma. Now when we press comma, ask for the table, the column index number. Now we come here again, we just come here and we go up again a little bit, and then it asks for the column index number. So where does status fall? We start counting from the first column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It falls under 5. Column index number 5. So we click 5, and then we put comma, and then it asks us, is it an absolute match or is it an approximate match? It is an absolute match, and then we click false, and then we click enter. Okay, watching, this is all we have for you for VLOOKUP, and I want you to know that VLOOKUP can go in any other company. Let's assume that you are working with names of employees and you wanted to find out their position in your job place, maybe their specialty, maybe they are in the Department of Human Resource, Department of Health, Department of different department, and you want to find their department quick. You can still use VLOOKUP. You just need to be creative about around it. Thank you very much. See you in the other lesson. Thank you.